All right. Byun in the top right of Ancient Cistern. And Solar in the bottom left. And here we go. A nice little Terran versus Zerg. Best of 5. It should be very fun. Just watching that hatchery. Not sure what Mapu is zooming in on there. Get your minds out of the gutter, guys. All right. Who is advantaged here? This is a pretty close match, I think, honestly. I'm actually, let me think about this. I agree, Mapu, thank you. Like, I still have a hard time considering Solar one of the very best. Because it was such a long period that I casted him where he really didn't have the greatest results, and he kind of was the more middling Zerg, but he really has come up and done very well. I think even that being said, I think Byun has been in really fantastic shape lately. So I am, for me personally, I am kind of favoring Byun here. So Byun opens up with a command center first, and I like that kind of as a little bit of a mind game. Not that there's like any great counters to command center first or anything, but Byun does very heavily at 2 racks wall-in openers, where he goes like 3 Reaper expand, right? It's such a common build, and it's like Byun's favorite build right now in this matchup. He's such a Reaper guy, and he has a lot of follow-ups to it. Now, you know, you don't want to do it every game, and he does it a lot of games. Like, I actually expect him, if we go to 5 games, I bet you he does it 3 times. Okay? I think he'll do 1, like, regular opener that goes into a factory reasonably quickly, 3 double racks Reaper openers with various follow-ups, and then this 1 command center first. That's my guess. You watch. I bet it'll happen. And if it doesn't because the series ends too quick, I'll just be like, yeah, it was going to happen, though. But either way, this is going to give him a nice economic opening, the quickest command center you can possibly get. You know, multiple racks is going up, and he is going to follow this up with 3 racks, which is... this is one of Byun's real fallback builds, honestly. Like, 4 racks! I love it! I love it! It's so Byun. So, honestly, to his own detriment, Byun has always been in love with 3 barracks openers. 3 barracks bio. Okay? So, ooh, he's being so greedy here, man, with only 1 Marine holding all this, but beautiful, Mike. Are you kidding me? Anyways, now there is no scouting of what's going on. Okay, so anyways, let me talk about this a bit and why this is very interesting, because Byun has to be one of the best players at the 3 racks openers because he does them more than anybody. And they're not actually particularly strong. You just get a lot more units in the early game. And if your opponent has an idea of what's going on, it doesn't really do anything. But here he went command center first, so he can actually support the 4 racks very, very quickly, which will give substantially more units more quickly. And he was greedy about it. He was really greedy about it, and it didn't get scouted. So, like, he went 1 Marine, no more, into add-ons, right? So I'm looking at this, and this is going to be a kind of absurd amount of bio that comes out. You know, when Solar sees how much is there, he's going to be like, damn, man, that is a lot. So, anyways, this is going to be a fun game. I'm liking the way that Byun has chosen to open this. Now, on Solar's side, okay, he's getting a Baneling Nest. Probably smart to have something like that. Something that can deal with higher amounts of Marines. Obviously, Stim is going to be finishing relatively soon. 5 Marines at a time right now. Notice how he's only showing a few to the front. He's keeping a lot of them back. Dude, there's no vision until right before Solar's base. Oh, man. The thing is, I know that Solar's probably looking at this and saying, okay, there's a good chance there's a bunch moving out. And look, I mean, 5 queens, okay. 5 queens, bunch of lings being made, some banelings being made here as well. But Stim and, well, combat shields aren't done yet, but they're going to be done relatively soon. It's a pretty quick upgrade. 7 Bane's going to have to come up here. Walks on creep, walks off creep. Now, there is a lot. He's waiting for combat shields, by the way, in case you're wondering. Waits for the combat shields, backs back up. Now, here's the thing. Going home here is not shameful. Okay? It is not shameful. In fact, I believe it to be the best move by far. He has forced a lot of units. Look at the worker count right now. 50 against 50. Look at this. And even here, off creep, his opponent is going to be able to take this, right? So Solar made all those units, but he ends up winning the battle. So this is why a retreat would have been very, very solid. If you can retreat, your Marines are going to scale much better than the Ling Bang. There's more usage for them. So, you know, obviously if he had been on creep, that would have been a lot worse. So I guess we can be thankful for that on Byun's side. But Solar does a good job of trading out, getting rid of those Marines immediately. All right, so yeah, 24 Marines died. Only 33 Lings and 6 Banes. That was actually a better trade than I thought for Solar. Damn, man. Real nice. Real nice. All right, so third orbital on landing on the third base. And good production here from Byun at this point. We have 5 racks production. Looks like Siege Tanks being made. 1-1 on the way, actually ahead of that +1 carapace for Solar. But he does have Baneling speed coming. His creep spread is starting to look really good. He has his 4th base up and mining. Or, I'm sorry. That was Queens in between the minerals and the hatchery. It's not quite done. Almost done. Almost done. But he does have a decent drone count right now. A full 3 base saturation. He's going to want to make a little bit more there. Baneling speed is done now. Queens getting pulled back. Some transfusions going down. He's going to end up losing a little bit here. 2 Queens get picked off before he can push us back. Yeah, double medevac going to go ahead, unload. That +1 carapace almost done. Definitely a very important upgrade for him to have finish here if he's going to connect with some of those Banes. Consistent siege tank production, but we actually have Hydras being made as well as the Ling Bane. +2 attack has started for Byun, but nothing beyond that. And we don't see like a second factory yet. You know, if you're playing against Ling Bane Hydra, I really like when we see 2 factories. 2 factory siege tank, I think, can be a very strong counter. We don't see that right this second. He doesn't necessarily need to get instantaneously or anything. In fact, you can kind of play a more biocentric play against it, but we'll see what he ends up doing. Backing up quite a bit. Those Banelings starting to connect a little bit. The +1 carapace definitely helping out. Goes ahead, picks up the rest. Saves 15 Marines there. And going to go ahead and evacuate. This flanking force that he had unloaded just a little bit ago tries to come in, but there's more than enough units here, so he's not really going to get a lot done. Targets a couple Banes, kills a few Marines. Got to get out of here. Hive coming up for Solar. Solar's doing a really good job this game, I feel like. 5th base is coming up. His creep spread, really good. His defense so far, everywhere, really on point. Right, now the siege tanks setup. This is a really good spot for siege tanks, and he's getting rid of a lot of the creep tumors, as you can see, really important. Obviously, the hatchery itself makes creep go out to a certain distance anyways, but the tanks are going to be completely off creep, so it's going to be really hard to engage those. Good pre-spread here of the Marines. Ling Bane Hydra coming in there from the north. And that was actually a pretty damn good cleanup. Honestly, I thought Byun was going to be a little bit more effective there, but that was solid. Additional Hydra range upgrade coming out. +2 carapace is going to be almost done here. Lurker Den gets started as the Hive finishes up. A couple Vipers being joined in. And, of course, against 1 factory siege tanks, the Viper is going to be more than enough to counter that. So I'm a little bit nervous for Byun. Like, he has good upgrades. He has really good macro right now. He's trying to keep pressure on. But he's on, like, 1 factory siege tanks, and we don't see any Marauders added in. You can play Marine Marauder Mine against this type of composition, but pure Marine, not as much. And the tiny amount of siege tanks he has isn't really doing that much, right? Now, he's going to pick a Viper as it pops. That's really nice. Good spread here as well. Going to be able to finish off this hatchery. Solar going to give it up. Unfortunately, he does have a bunch of drones there, so this is a pretty impactful kill from Byun. And he is just trying to maintain this pressure right now. If he can maintain the pressure, like, he can still definitely take this. It's just we don't see him transitioning into anything. Like, the only late game thing he has going on right now is +3 attack, right? No other tech whatsoever. We don't even have a 4th base landed. He just continually is attacking Marine tank. That's it. And it's not even many tanks. All right, we have 5 lurkers being made. So if Solar here starts to transition into, like, more of a... Okay, look at 3 tech labs on the production tab. What I was going to say about Solar, if he transitions into more of a defensive, grinding, lurker, Viper type of composition... Right? You can play from lesser bases and still be okay. Look at that efficiency. Holy shit. That is crazy. But that be... Yeah. Ooh! Oh, those lurkers are not targeting correctly at all. Lingbane Hydra coming down this ramp, and he's just going to GG. Anyways, there was 3 tech labs on the way. So definitely we're going to start seeing some Ghosts or Marauders being mixed in. Probably Marauders to start, Ghosts a little bit later. Since the Ghost Academy, I don't think had been started yet, but that was cool. Byun just like did a very greedy build and just pushed it to the max. Solar almost had enough to defend everything. That was good. That was a good game. That was fun. Byun was the first guy to win GSL without a team, right? It was him or Rain? Oh, yeah. Rain was the first non-Kespa team, and Byun might have been the first teamless. Something like that, I think. All right, we're going into game number 2. Top left of Dragon Scales, we have none other than Byun. And on the bottom right, our Zerg player, it's Solar. All right. So, Byun is once again not doing the walled 2-Rax Reaper. Interesting. It's really been his go-to build. Even last week, it was his go-to build. But see him playing a little bit differently here, which is cool. That's fine. And it's a pool first. Oh, so Command Center first versus pool first here from Solar. Let's see what Solar can do with this pool first. Oh, this is exciting. Okay, so here's the thing. Last time I remember someone going pool first against the Command Center first. The Command Center first actually held it way better than I felt like they should. But let's see if that's going to be the case, right? Especially the greedy way Byun plays. Maybe it won't be. What's up?
X300, let me clarify something. Guy in the chat was right once again. Byun is the real Marine-only guy as we saw previous game, and the other one was Marine King. He even has Marine in his name. But he doesn't know his stuff.
Okay, clever StarCraft guy. So, anyways, if you want to know about Lingbane Hydra, you want to go Marine Siege Tank against that. Some players, Maru in particular, have in the past tried a Marine Marauder Mine approach. I think it's incredibly hard to do because you don't really have, like, the Hydras kind of deal with everything there pretty well. But yeah, you would not make Marauders with Marine Siege Tank. against that composition. So, let's see if anything can be done here. It's a single Marine. 2 Lings run up. I mean, 2 Lings are not scary. So it seems as if, you know, when I was talking with Dummy Guy in the chat, who was trying to defend other Dummy Guy in the chat, because they got to stick together. Strength in numbers. You know, Solar didn't make Lings. This was a defensive pool first. He may have been thinking that this would be like a triple proxy barracks type of play. So, you know, that's fine. You can open with the pool first sometimes to try to get around that, right? If you open pool first and they went for the proxy barracks, you're feeling on top of the world. But in this particular case, he's playing against Command Center first. So it's probably the biggest difference you could have economically as far as openers. So Byun definitely has the advantage as far as the openers do go. So where does Solar go with this? It's a worse opener than last game. So if you look at where Byun was at last game comparatively, Solar is not happy right now. Now, let's take a look. Okay, in the main base, it's a 3 racks. It's not 4 racks, which we saw last game. So this is going to allow him to get his factory a little bit quicker. He will do the same type of push out that we saw before. And, you know, you're going to want to follow that up by getting up to Medevacs ASAP. I actually wonder about this from Byun, right? Because he's like taking a step back as far as the actual Marine production. Which, honestly, I think that this is a better build than the 4X. This is a little bit smoother, and it's going to let him transition to other things better. Now, does he put down the factory right now? Or in a moment here, as he builds up? Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see it. Factory? There it is. Okay. Yeah. Kind of as expected. Only showing off a small amount of Marines, by the way. You got to be careful about that. And to scan to get rid of that, that shows that you're trying to hide something. By the way, he was making 2 gases there before killing the Overlord. And that's something you want them to see, I think, as well. All right, a lot of Lings being made. 2 more Queens as well for Solar. That's going to bring it up to a very healthy queen contingent. We have 6 out front right now. Marines coming across the map. Don't think he's going to be able to find too much damage here. No Banelings this time, but he should have enough between the Queens and Lings. A little scan there. Okay, there's the stim. Oh, and actually good micro there from Byun. Not that that's a surprise in any way, but excellently executed. That was really good on both sides. If at any time, like if Byun hadn't pulled back or Solar hadn't pulled back, they would have lost a huge amount of units. So they both basically microed perfectly there, and Byun gets a little heads up. A little bit better for Byun, and he should definitely go home. And you can see that Solar's coming up for that trade once again. Stim is gone. He's made a few more Lings. Let's go up and kill all these Marines. Great micro there from Byun, though. Definitely gets a slightly better engagement than he should have gotten. Kills way more than he should have killed. But at least it gets cleared. At least it gets cleared. All right, so Baneling's speed is on the way, the 1-1. I really like him favoring getting this 1-1 very quickly. I actually prefer Zergling-based builds like this. And by the way, you can tell that this is going to be pure Ling for quite a while because he is getting the macro hatchery in the main base. This is the only build where you get a macro hatchery in the main right away, is a Ling Bane defense where you're not planning on Hydras or Roaches or anything like that right now, or Mutas even. So I really prefer this quick 1-1, right? So you're going to be up an upgrade here against Terran. Baneling's speed is a little bit slower, but just favoring those upgrades gives you a better long-term kind of presence. Now, he leads with the Queens. He wants the Queens taking those siege tank hits, pushes everything back, flanks with the Lings. Beautifully done by Solar. Beautifully done. Really good execution on clean that up. Will hold his 4th base with ease. And he should get his 2-2 immediately. Like, if you're getting your 1-1 that fast, get your 2-2 that fast as well. See, right as soon as the battle's over, 2-2 starts. Awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. I think Solar's playing an immaculate game right now, considering what the openings look like. But don't forget, Byun has a good macro engine behind him, right? This is kind of similar to the previous game. He's just pumping the Marines and the tanks, utilizing the tanks to kind of make these positions that are kind of gross to play against. Look at this, going to put that behind the geyser, kind of a regular location, kills some creep, forward group of Marines, back group of Marines, a little bit of pushing, poking, prodding. He's not thinking he's going to get that hatchery right now, but he wants to lure an attack in. It's only 1 siege tank, though, so honestly, it's not that scary. Double medevac going out the other side. Now, if he can keep this pressure push going, look at this. Boost into the main base with 3 medevacs. Now, if he hits bottom left at the same time, that's perfect, right? So here he is. A lot of lings coming in here. Now, Solar already sent a ton of units over to the left side, and now Byun is coming up into the 3rd base, or the 4th base, rather, with the rest of his units here. So you see, he's attacking 3 locations at once. Now, is Solar holding them all? We actually missed the double medevacs in the bottom left. Not exactly sure what happened there. It looks like he saw the units and backed out and unloaded. But so far, Solar dealt with the main. He dealt with the push at the 4th. What's happening at the 5th? It looks like the 5th was repelled as well. That is... It's like... Byun will attack most Zergs in the world like that, and they are going to lose a lot. And look at this. He had a Zergling under there the whole time. Oh, my God. Chills. I have nerd chills right now. Solar is playing amazingly. All right, so, I mean, this is just the standard issue Byun continue to harass. Sends another big group here. Now, this one Solar missed. After all that awesome defense, he misses this big, big, big attack. And unless those Banes hit nicely, yeah, and they're not going to. This is not going so well at the beginning, but you know what? He has so many Lings and Banes coming in. He is going to clear it. Counterattack into this 3rd base location. It looks like Solar's going to take this game, guys. Byun kind of with a one-track mind so far in this series. Well, not exact build, but very close. The same overall strategy, same ideas in both of the first 2 games. The first game working out, and here, Solar right now sitting on 5 bases. He doesn't actually have like a 5-base drone count. He has closer to a 3-base drone count, but he doesn't, you know, it's slightly over 3 base. Perfect drones is 22 per base, but that's if you're taking all your gases. Here he's not, so like his drone saturation on minerals is good. But anyways, he's going heavy link, so this all makes a lot of sense. Now Hive and Hydralis Den coming up. Some Liberators being added in here for Byun. I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do with those, honestly. Still making tanks. Whew. All right, coming in, dropping over here. Well, that is a sick counterattack with the Lings. Yeah, everything going wrong for Byun at this point. Well, he will get this hatchery, so I guess I can't say everything. But losing 15 SCVs at that 3rd base, like his minerals are actually getting really low back home. So his income at this point is pretty darn weak. He's at half the workers, or less than half the workers of Solar at the moment. Byun continuing to try to get an attack off. The Liberator's not doing as much as he would wish. Well, Medevac's boosting that main base, seeing if they can pull Solar around a little bit more. Yep, Byun trying to hold on, trying to make something happen. Gets 3-3 started, does have that +1 vehicle weapons as well. right, well, the Liberator's set up here. He's trying to take a good engage. It's like a huge spread of Lingbane, and GG is called. I mean, it was a bad position for a long time for Byun there. Like we kind of knew that was over for a bit, but you know, he's trying to make something happen. He got a hatch, you know, he's trying to multitask, throw stuff everywhere. Can't really say anything negative about trying to pick up a win there, but that was a tough one. It really felt like Solar outplayed him there. Byun has to do something different. He can't do that same command center first into 3 racks, 4 racks play. Can't keep doing that. Absolutely not. All right, we're getting into the next game. Oh, no, hold on. Why was that CC First's fault? You got away with it again. It's not CC First's fault. It's the 3 racks follow-up, I would say, right? I talked about this in the first game where he did it, where, like, to a fault, he likes it too much, to his own detriment. There's not any real finesse with it. You make a certain amount of Marines. There's a cap to how many you can make. It's pure power plus a little bit of micro. So it's not... There's not that much to it. If your opponent knows it's coming, they just stop it. And we saw Solar stop it better and better, right? So it's not... Command Center First is fucking great. You can't say much about that. All right, let's do it. Game number 3. Bottom right, we have Byun on Gressvan. Top left, we have Solar. This definitely gives us some good macro games. Oh, okay. Are we going to have Command Center First again? We are. And again, the Command Center First aspect of this is fine. You're not putting any pressure onto Solar, but, you know, depending on when Solar scouts, he's still going to make the 4 lanes, right? So... down he comes for the Command Center First. Now, what are some other things you can do with a Command Center First? Well, you can do a 2-1-1, right? A 2-1-1 being 2 barracks, factory, starport, where generally with that, what you'll do is you'll get 2 medevacs quickly with stim and send those across the map. I believe with the newest patch, generally it's not 16 Marines, but it'll be something like 14 Marines will go across if you hit it perfectly. But something like that can be good, where you're putting some pressure on. Obviously, you can go up into something like a Hellion Banshee play. Hell, I've seen battlecruiser rushes after Command Center First. Absolutely, you could do something like that, right? The world is kind of your oyster. You're like your economy is just much better. Now, my guess here is he'll go for a 2-1-1. 2-1-1 is what Byun won his world championship off of, if you guys recall. That was his main build at the time. It wasn't Command Center First 1-1-1, but it was, or a 2-1-1, but it was 2-1-1, where you're just utilizing your great micro potential. Yeah, it does look like that's likely where he's going here. So throws down the reactor. Notice how he makes the reactor. He doesn't even make a Marine. The amount of greed you can do in StarCraft 2 is so funny. Oh, another barracks. Well, like I said, right? To his own detriment sometimes. Now, that's not to say he can't win with it. But, again, it's like... how do I put it, right? You're making a ton of tier 1 units. And you're like, I have this muscle, and I'm really good at micro. And it's like, okay, well, you know, there's more things that can go wrong for your opponent with something else. But that placement there, if I'm seeing that with the Ling, I'm thinking, oh, maybe this is a 2-on-1. Right? You could. It kind of looks like that. Right? That's what we were thinking at the beginning. So that could be a tricky thing. The thing is that counters are not that different. Generally against a 2-on-1, well, back when it was a very, very popular build, it really isn't anymore. You would get you'd go for like, what was it, 7 queens and very fast +1 carapace and zergling speed. And that was kind of the way you played against it. Whatever. We'll just see. If he just happens to get very fast +1 carapace, that means that that's what he's thinking. I don't think that we'll see that from him, but we'll see. 3 more queens on the way. Yeah, combat shields and that stim are coming up as well. But yeah, if Solar can stomp this down as well as he did in the previous game, right? Like, just have enough that Byun can't really do anything. He's kind of targeting queens, running back and forth, and then Solar stops him from getting home with those Marines. That's the best case scenario for Solar. And that's where he can start to really do his own thing. All right, so 3rd Command Center gets started. That's kind of funny. 3rd Command Center before a factory. So that's, he continues to kind of, like, not give himself a ton of different options here. Right, it's kind of straightforward. We have a lot of lings on the way. Double Evo. There's the queens. Pulls them back. Needs the surface area so his lings can get in there. It's kind of funny watching him attack. He's like almost attacking in a triangle. Lings come in. The queens mostly stay alive here. Loses a couple. Maybe 3 queens go down. Pushes the Marines back. And, of course, this is the other part we were talking about. We really want to see Solar clean that up on the map to feel like he's in a good spot. Now, he has that quick 1-1 coming up. Baneling Nest on the way. 40 Marines, 3 queens. 40 lings, 3 queens, right? So it's very similar as far as value goes. Obviously, that prevents a bunch of drones that could have been made. 3rd Command Center coming down to land. Ooh, I like the timing of landing that 3rd Command Center.
Clever StarCraft guy he cheered. X300. The problem with Terran on StarCraft 2 is it lacks horny female unit voices. Look at Brood War. We had the horny medic, making you hard in a few
Okay, okay. Thank you, Clever StarCraft guy, I think. Anyways. Yeah, so the 1-1 coming up on both sides. The Baneling speed. Wait, oh, he had double armory going and then canceled one? Yeah, I believe that's what... No, he does have double armory going. We've seen this multiple times tonight, haven't we? Where it's like, maybe they're forgetting they've started their armory already. 2nd factory coming up rather quickly as well. Oh, that's interesting. What's he want to do with that? All right, the Marines kind of stimming in here, going behind those mineral patches. And, well, that's a lot of Ling Bane, so he definitely does have to pick up. 1-1 is done for Solar, but not for Byun. So, you know, it's going to be a little bit harder for him to harass for the next few moments while we wait for that 1-1 to finish. And, yeah, it looks like mine production is going to be the big thing here. Now, I would imagine, right, so if we're going to see mines, like there's a reactor, there should be a tech lab coming up so you can get drilling claws. But I think he should probably start to add in some Marauders at this point as well. Marauders are good to keep in front to kind of tank against the Banelings. They're kind of fat, they're harder to roll around and everything, and they don't take the additional damage from those Banelings. So if you're going to go like Marine Mine, it can be really dangerous to go just Marine Mine. Like a few Marauders in there give you a lot more leeway. But we'll see about that. Adding 3 more racks right now. There's the drilling claws as expected. Yeah, this drop, I mean, being annoying for sure. All right, more command center. Watchdog. All right. All right, so a couple of Vipers coming out. Adrenal for Solar as well. 3 mines at a time. And I want to see if these are tech labs that are going to go down on these 3 new racks. Let's see. Or does he just add to the Marine production? That would be crazy. Some Brood War macro if he does that. Okay, starting some Marauders here. Again, it is much more normal if you're going to play with mines here against this type of composition to add in those extra Marauders. But only 1 Rax Marauders would be wild. Yeah, and look at that. 3 more Tech Labs. So he is going to start to mix in a lot of Marauders at this point. That's going to make it a lot easier to deal with this type of unit composition. All right, takes a few big hits there. Four Marauders produced at a time right now. Okay, so where's my guy in the chat? Byun only goes Marines, man. He only goes Marines. He's the real Marine King. Huh. Is that weird? Is that weird? Huh. Right now, Marauder Marine here, being the comp. He's getting that concussive shell. Looks like we are going to have some Lurker tech coming up from Solar. Some good harassment over here on the right-hand side. Very, very annoying to deal with. Oh! Sick connections right there. Holy crap. Very, very good mines. Definitely going to have to start dealing with that. We see some overseers being made here. Definitely needs to clean those mines up ASAP. Oh, he missed one. Ooh, that's going to be gross. Anyways, the Lurker upgrades are coming right now. Getting those additional Hydralisk upgrades as well. +1 ranged on the way. Kind of funny. +3 armor going quicker here for Byun than that +3 attack. Ghost Academy coming up. All right, well, this is kind of a funny drop that we have in here. It almost feels like against like this Lingbane. Ooh, everything really gets super clean there. He does have another drop going down in the natural. 16 drones go down. The drones don't really, those drone kills don't matter as much right at this second. Like, we have some banks to replace those and a lot of drones at the moment. And we finally have an attack down here that I normally talk about a lot. That area generally has a lot of action, but this one's kind of all over the place. Honestly, I think that some of these big drops that Byun is doing are not necessarily the way. Lingbane Hydron Creep is going to run through and clean that type of thing up pretty quickly. I feel more like Byun should be doing like a giant attack in with a wall of Marauders, but yeah, I mean, all of this is pretty hard to play. Honestly, I think that this is one of the harder things to do in StarCraft 2 is play the Marine Marauder mine against Lingbane Hydra. Now it drops again into that main base. This one might actually end up paying off. Goes, oh my god, he's gonna get the Lurker Den. And do you know why? Because Marauders do extra damage to buildings. Holy crap, why does he like Marauders so much? I guess because they're a good unit. Now, Ghosts on the way. +3, almost done. Ooh, some good parasitic bombs coming down on these medevacs. Oh, dude. Oh. So much pain. Only a couple live. Now, he has to remake that Lurker Den. They do not have their burrow speed ready. So that's a little bit of a pain. Okay, so the spread mines here, kind of just looking at this position. I love seeing some of these mines just kind of randomly spread around. It's really annoying for Zerg to try to clean all of that up. You can see he's running single lings through because he just knows there's a ton of shit in there. And it's better just throw a ling away than when you're moving your army around lose a whole bunch. See? Going around, finding ones that he can. But I think that Byun should continue to try to do that as well. Good retreat there from the Viper. Lays a few more mines down. Good amount of ghosts in here now as well. Look at that. He's tanks, marauders, ghosts. He's not even making marines anymore. Isn't that crazy? I thought he only made marines. That's so weird. Someone else must be playing on his account, huh? Okay, so right now we have Lingbane Hydra. Has those Vipers in there. Has a few lurkers here and there. Good surround. Getting a bit of damage there. Dude, the mines spread around are just amazing. I love that about the mines late game. Just so annoying to deal with. We're actually getting to this kind of crazy game at the moment. Oh, he's only lost one tank this game. 20 mines go down. Okay. Now, a lot of upgrades being done. Look at that. Getting, like, the building armor and everything. High-sec auto-tracking. Not bad. He has a bunch of factories that were added on. Definitely can get some more mines out here as well. +1 vehicle weapons. We don't see him making anything that utilizes that yet, but we might later on. So I think it's good to get anyways. It's pretty cheap. Both sides actually kind of like lower in supply than you would expect sometimes. You know, we're 16 minutes in a game, neither side maxed. Byun very low as far as money goes. No real bank. Wow, a lot of mules. He's going to suck up the minerals of that base real quick. Ling counterattack going there, though, might ruin his day at that base. If those Lings go there immediately, man, that would be so annoying. Oh. Mine and Marines ruining it. Another Marine drop in that main base. He's going to get the hive. Now that is incredibly annoying. It's going to take a while to get back up to that. Layer gets started immediately elsewhere. Byun doing a fantastic job of things. Ah, look at this. Blue flame and then +1 armor for vehicles. So, yeah, the plus armor is obviously, you know, good for the mines, like, in any case. But, of course, like we were talking about before, if you do get up to +3 vehicle attacks, then you can go ahead and one-shot Lings with the Blue Flame Hellbats, which is totally silly. Again, that's something that I think will be addressed in the next patch, because it has become popular, and it just looks stupid that the units literally can't do anything. It's like, oh my god. Ooh, another good mine hit. Having a hard time with these mines. Alright, the drops to the main base. I don't know that they are useful anymore. He killed the hive already, so it doesn't feel like there's any really great targets up there for him to go after. Does have the double armory going. Lots of mech production right now, which is weird because he normally only makes Marines. Has those extra factories. Almost switching into Ghost Mech at this point. Solar on this Lingbane Hydra comp, the more he's playing against these mech units, the harder it's going to be for him to really do anything with this. I think he definitely has to think about switching it up. All right, brings his lurkers over to the side, and like he will do some siege damage there. Continue to attack through this area, getting rid of some of the building command centers. Honestly, this seems... What was that? Seems like not very efficient for Solar. That definitely felt better for Byun to me. And I mean, Solar's doing a little bit over here, but this doesn't seem that impactful. It's like not a very important base at the moment. Honestly, I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I was just going to say I wouldn't mind seeing a Nidus. You know, there's all these memes about, you'd see people on like Team Liquid way back in the day, they'd be like, you should go Nidus here. And it was like a kind of a meme, but it kind of isn't too. Like, you know, Nidus, like this type of late game, a Nidus sometimes can be a very nice move. It rarely ends the game, but definitely can give you some edges. Yeah, starts to come in here, decides better of it, backs up. And we are still waiting to start that +3 vehicle weapons, right? That's the crazy upgrade we've been talking about. All right, a Nidus just outside of the sensor tower range. Kind of an interesting location. Almost 700 lings have died this game. Definitely much more cost efficient for Byun, which is getting a little bit scary here for Solar, I think, as well. Trying to come in, going around that command center as it's being built. The Banelings, just a huge amount of Banelings rolling in here. Is this efficient? I would venture to say no, but he's killing so much it might not matter. My God, what a game. It's kind of funny. We keep seeing the plating start before the plus attack, where the plus attack is definitely better based on what Byun is doing right now. Adding in some more siege tanks. His supply has dropped pretty dramatically, but don't forget there's no real bank here. One thing to mention is that army supply for Solar is serious because he's playing with much more cost-efficient units than some of these other games when I'm talking about the supply counts. Right, like if it's a Roach-based army, it's not as impressive. Here, it's like Morling Bane. Baneling being one of the most supply-efficient units in the entire game. Right, comes up, gets on top of everything. Good Blinding Cloud. Excellent Blinding Cloud there. Shutting down the siege tank. Might want some more of those. Yeah, good ones. One, well, he gets it on that one, but a little bit late. Not maybe getting the kills he wanted with the Banes, but the Hydras actually come through and clean up the siege tanks at least. Their Nidus goes out. Honestly, a crazy, crazy series right now between these two. Solar's domination of this map, like, look at the mini-map in the bottom left-hand corner. It's getting a little bit wild out there. But Byun actually, you know, if he can hold on to this a little bit longer, continue to spread these tanks, he'll maintain enough efficiency that all he needs to do is clear the base that Solar has down in, like, the bottom towards Byun's base, and block Solar from taking that base right there, right, that we're looking at with the lurkers next to it. If he stops him from taking that base and kills that bottom right base of Solar's, Byun can still win this game. Solar does not have much. He has no bank to speak of. So the game definitely can go either way still. Another roll in here from Solar, throwing down those Blinding Clouds. The Blinding Clouds doing absolutely fantastic. Look at this, Ling's getting on top of those siege tanks. Now that was a good fight for Solar. That was an excellent fight for Solar. Gotta hand it to him on that one, no doubt. Those Blinding Clouds can really be devastating against these siege tanks. Getting a bit worse now for Byun. I think Solar is actually really on the brink of taking this game down now. Starting to really clear some of these units out. Yeah, see, Byun is starting to evacuate everywhere. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to hold that base any longer. And again, he's not really killing the bottom right base that we see for Solar, even though there's not really anything mining there, I guess, at the moment. GG. And Solar takes the lead, 2-1. All right. Crazy, crazy game. All right, we're going right into game number 4. Hope you guys are enjoying. Let's do it. Game number 4. All right, Neo-Humanity in the bottom right, we have Byun. In the top left, we have Solar. All right. Whew. What a series. Now, this game, we're going to have proxy racks. That's what it looks like. Oh, no, actually, this should be an engineering bay block. I believe that's what we're going to see here. Sorry, my bad. Oh, no, another SCV. Never mind. Never mind. When it's one SCV that comes out, it's an eBay block. If 2 come out, it's proxy racks. But yeah. So this is going to be a double proxy racks. He has not utilized this yet. I did expect to see one of these in the series. Solar will go hatch first. See how many drones he makes in between the hatch and his pool. 1. 2. 3. And there's a third racks. 1 for each drone made in between the hatch and the pool. All right, so, you know, there is the potential here for Byun to just straight win the game. This is an incredibly strong strategy. Excellent for tournaments. The drone, it doesn't matter where it scouts, it's going to scout something, right? Oh, dude, look where he's going with it. Oh, no. Solar is playing super greedy. So Byun has basically set him up, right? He did 3 command center firsts in a row. Oh. It looked like he was going to go third hatch right then. Oh, he just wants to clear one and then go for it. Okay, so this is a super greedy opener here. Now, one thing, right? Like, this looks like Byun should be able to just win this. But maybe there's a world in which he knocks down this and doesn't figure out there's another base. There could be a world where that happens. I've seen crazy stuff like that occasionally. Right, a lot of drones coming out to fight. Now, he actually cancels that other hatchery, so wants to bring it back and fight. He sees the gold minerals, so he knows now that this is even a more favorable situation for him than he may have thought previously. When he sees that drone with the gold minerals, you know exactly what was going on there. All right, good micro here with the Marines. Ooh, a nice surround by the drones. But 5 drones dead already. He is blocking the bunker, which is somewhat significant. Does he actually have enough Marines here to kill everything? Yeah, I would say so. Oh, these are Space Marines, as Jeff would say. Now that bunker taking some serious damage, but he's going to be able to fill it up. Dude, the block from Solar is pretty legit. Can't say too much negative about that. Not a great drone count. Is making a few more lings. We don't see like a spine or anything like that. Byun doesn't have a lot going on at home. He is making some SCVs here still. He is slightly up as far as workers, but that won't last for long with 2 queens and 2 hatches. Third depot goes down. Generally, you will continue to make Marines. Because the fact that you're making Marines kind of forces your opponent to continually make defending units. Yeah. And will be able to kill him as Solar was trying to drone up at that point. Tied up 2-2. We're going to game number 5. All right. Here we go. Game 5. Why is the guy who never says GG commenting on StarCraft 2 ESL? I don't know, so little dorks like you can come watch, dude. Enjoy your stay. Alright, Byun in the bottom right. In the top left, we have Solar. And we're finally going to see his walled 2 racks, 3 Reapers. Now, I was saying at the beginning of the series, I expected to see this build 3 times out of Byun. Obviously, that's not the case. I was definitely way off on that.
Uriel underscore lost.
Yo, what's up, Uriel?
X300, RT, would you agree that Solar is a bit of an underrated? He's 4th ranked Zerg after Cyril Rayner and Duck consistently for like the last 4 to 5 years.
Definitely not the last 4 to 5 years. Right now, yes. For the last year, yes. But definitely not 4 to 5 years. If you actually look back at his results only dramatically improved about 1 year ago. But yeah, he's an excellent player now. And I think I underrate him personally. I know I do, because I'm so used to him being a middling Zerg. But yeah, he's great. All right, so this is actually 3 racks. So this is a little bit of a mind game. This is a much more aggressive play. Right now, 2 racks Reaper, where you go 3 Reapers and go command center behind it, is incredibly popular. It is so popular in TVZ right now. To go for the 3rd racks, right? First off, when you see this as Solar, the first thing that's going to come to your mind is going to be 3 Reapers, block them, and get into it, figure out what he's doing next. In this case, he's going to make Reapers like basically nonstop for quite some time and get a huge amount. Now, if he starts losing Reapers, he'll lose the game. If he doesn't, he might be able to snowball it. Byun is the best Reaper user ever, so let's see what he gets done. Now, this is the one time that this matters, by the way. You know, I make fun of this a lot, but this moment right here, this actually matters. He needs every damage he can get on these lings, because he is going to have a lot coming in. It's very normal to make 6 lings in this situation. Woo! That was crazy. But yeah, normally against the 2 racks, you are going to make the 6lings, because you're going to have to lose some. Your opponent can die very aggressively and bring more Reapers as well. All right, a lot of Reapers in this 3rd hatch. There's definitely death potential on this 3rd hatch from a build like this. You're getting so much damage out there, and honestly, you can't walk out with queens to defend. Notice how Solar isn't trying. Like, you can bounce him with grenades all day. He's going to have to cancel this hatchery. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't even know if it can finish, honestly. Yeah, he cancels. Oh, look, the drone running is actually great. That actually just bought him extra time. Like, Solar needs everything he can get his hands on right now to buy some time, get his Zergling speed out. And generally, the way this goes, guys, is Byun will continue to grind away at him a little bit, and Solar will start making a lot of lings. A lot of lings, and he's going to have to surround these Reapers, but it is so hard to surround Byun Reapers. He's so good at getting them into good positions, bouncing everything with grenades. He really ruins you when you try to kill his Reapers. That's where he gets you and other players don't. Look, there's a lot of speedlings. Is that enough? No, not quite. Not quite. Oh, he's going to try for it. I warned you, Solar. Not enough. It looks like enough. Oh, he blasted him in the wrong direction there. But actually, this other group is doing a really good job. They killed all the lings that were on them very, very simply. And you know what? It was enough. Or was it? No, more lings are coming. Now it's enough. Good job, Solar. All right, so Solar blocks that. Loses only 1 drone and 30 lings for 9 Reapers. Honestly, not that bad of a defense. I think he did a good job there. Might be a little bit frustrating there for Byun. Okay. Starport finishing up. Stim finishing up here as well. Gonna need to get into those combat shields. Reactor medevacs. Maybe some siege tanks going to be on the way. Double Evo coming up here for Solar. He's definitely going to need to get, you know, either a Roach Horn right now or a Bailey Nest. Like, it's pretty important for him to have some splash, but also, like, he needs to get that layer up so that he can actually, you know, get the Baneling speed. I'm a little bit nervous for Solar because it feels like everything has been put back a little bit because of the Reapers. Whereas Byun's tech was actually, like, reasonably quick after it, right? Like, look at this. Look at this move out. That's a bit scary. He'll have +1 in combat shields relatively soon here. More queens on the way. You know, people complain about queens how good they are, but imagine this game without queens being really good. This particular game we're watching right now. it would be tough. Right? Look at this. This is tough, man. You don't expect this much, I feel like, after that many Reapers were over and your base screwing you up. And he is dealing a lot of damage. The Lings are getting absolutely shredded. Queen's trying to get those medevacs out of there. Byun just targeting what he can. Killing off the last few remaining queens that he can possibly target. Medevac tanking as much as they can there as well before he gets out. And only 2 queens remain. Seriously, if queens were 10% worse, the game's over. Wild. 7 queens fall. 65 lings. Dude, that's like over 30 drones that he could have had. If it was no rush 7 minutes. Damn, that's crazy. All right, Siege Chain coming out. That medevac very low. Solar should be able to spot that and take that out. Clearing some of this creep. All right, sets up. Okay, I like this position with the 2 tanks overlooking this base. Gonna be able to pick that off. Solar is not even gonna fight for it. I think that's a great choice. He is making a hatch in the bottom left. By the way, Baneling speed is on the way. It feels a little bit late this game again, like I was talking about before. See, just a couple of tanks here. Oh, look at this attack here from Solar. And we have the drop into the main base. The Spore actually screws him up a bit. His medevacs are super, super low there. Ling Queen clearing the bottom. Dude, Solar is playing really, really nicely. His defense this game has really been something else. I love the hatches he's given up. He immediately sniped those tanks. Is Byun trying for too much damage? He's not reinforcing, right? Like, what if he had brought that army home, reinforced with everything, walked back out? Well, certainly anything would have been better than what just happened. We can't say just because of that, you know, that would have been a better move. Maybe in some percentage of the time that double tank move, the queens don't move correctly, they go into the main base instead, something like that. I think that's what Byun was looking for, but Solar maybe a bit too smart for that. All right, Hydralisk Den coming up along with that Infestation Pit. Getting ready for that next level of tech. Good defense there still from Solar. Got a good stretch of bases right now, honestly. He's got this nice roaming force of Ling Bane Queen. Byun can't really get anything done with these. Oh, does get a drop over here. Gonna kill a few drones. 9 drones go down. Not too bad. Solar can remake, though. 2-2 going to be finishing up here for Solar. Doesn't really have any attack potential or anything here, I'd say. Maybe some counterattacks if Byun starts getting a little bit more aggressive. That's certainly something we've seen Byun having a harder time with lately. More attack or counterattack oriented play. We can actually see, by the way, that Byun has adjusted his play over the last few weeks. He's been out on the map with a higher percentage of his army most games. But here tonight, he's been a little bit more careful in leaving some units home for defense. He has, like I mentioned, he's been getting killed by counterattacks a lot. So, definitely a smart adjustment, I would say. Some Marauders being added in with those mines. 2-2 almost done. Hydra's coming up with that Hydraless speed upgrade. A boost of medevac around. Ooh, finds a beautiful drop location here. Nothing at all to defend. A single queen going to walk over. And during that, going to attack elsewhere. Oh, it doesn't look like he can do too much here. That was a good mine. And there is the counterattack we've been talking about, but he does have some units at home, so it doesn't lose his entire mineral line. We have seen him lose his entire mineral line in those situations a lot recently. That's been a big hole in his TVZ. This drop in the main base, going after that Hydralis den, getting rid of Hydralis range. Very, very nicely done. Rosie's mines, and ooh, we'll get some sick connections on those Banelings. Really, really good there from Byun. Byun is having a lot of minor victories here. And you know what? He's landed his 4th. He's got at least a few SCVs there. Single Zergling hiding behind the gas. I can't believe you saw that. Oh, I guess you can see the ping on the mini-map. Anyways, coming up here with the Marine Marauder mine. Ooh, some very good mine connections once again. The mines really paying high dividends here to Byun. Gonna have to micro all the way home, though. Solar taking another base while getting dropped here in the main. Oh, God. Is he going to get rid of the... Dude, the spawning pool would be a huge kill. He's trying to save Adrenal, and he can't do it. So Adrenal's gone and no spawning pool. So no more links for a little bit. This is... Maybe you can lean a little bit harder. Don't forget the Hydralisks never got their range upgrade because he got the Hydralisk den as well. This could be a moment for Byun to run away with this game. Can he kill some bases? He has to get through the standing army. Oh, the Blinding Clouds, I mean, the Parasitic Bombs, rather, doing a fantastic job here. No medevacs left. You just cannot stay any longer. We've seen Special tried in the past. Definitely does not work. Yeah, runs all the way home to his defending forces. He'll attack there into that 5th base. Not too much damage, but being annoying for sure. Spawning pool's back up immediately. 42 lings in the production tab. Yeah, that ling's still hiding out. Eight lurkers being made. Okay, so we're getting into a lurker game now. Oh, God, this might be bad. That was so close to going off right there. All right, Byun boosting into that main base once again here. Continue to keep this pressure on. All right, one medevac goes down. The other one very deeply red at the moment. Lots of lurkers there. A little bit hard to engage. He does have a good, healthy amount of marauders in there, so might still be able to make something happen. Drops out at the natural. Not a lot of defense there. Solar does send some up. Parasitic Bomb going to deal with that, so that is gone. Not sure what those 3 Marauders are doing. Is that what he wants to do with his multitasking? I guess so. Dude, he stops Adrenal again. Are you kidding me? That is insanity. Another spawning pool gone. Maybe he should build it elsewhere, like at his 3rd base. Absolutely crazy. Does a nice drop here, spreads them as well. The lurkers back up and join their other brother lurkers there. Byun being very, very efficient. You can see some Solar's supply kind of dropping off right now. Of course, he's waiting for that spawning pool as well. 34 lings immediately as it finishes up. Got to get that Adrenal upgrade as well. Long time coming right now. By the way, Byun has +3 armor and no +3 attack. Kind of an interesting thing. That's not the first time that we've seen him go for those armor upgrades first. Parasitic Bomb going down. Gonna lose quite a few units here, and maybe some medevacs as well. Gotta watch out for those Parasitic Bombs. They really grind down the health on those medevac groups. What a crazy game number 5 that we have right now. Wow, that defense is pretty good. Marines just get absolutely shredded as they go up to the hatchery. I don't think he's going to find too much in there. Ghosts starting to get added in here. Cloak on the way. Quite a few in this group. Wrecked. Yeah, trying to get those snipes off. Having a little bit of a hard time, though. That was actually a lot worse than I thought it would be. All right, throwing in that Blinding Cloud. A big counterattack here, but it looks like he might lose 2 hatches for what he's getting. Is it going to be worth it? This hatch definitely going down. Oh, a little drop at the natural as well. A nice little icing on the cake there of Byun's damage. SCV's having to fight at that 3rd base, or whatever we're going to call it at this point. Honestly, so many bases have gone up and down. Hard to keep track of what order they were in. Right now, Solar with that higher army supply, but don't forget we have a lot of ghosts in here. Maybe we have some potential here for Byun still. Worker counts pretty low on both sides. Byun still has that top right base mining pretty well, it looks like. Solar going to have to spread his workers around a little bit better. Some good snipes. Of course, when you're low on economy, that is maybe the most painful thing. Starting to lose your high gas units, your most expensive units like lurkers to those snipes. There's some mules being dropped. One of them actually faultily dropped. Not mining anything there. Really good economy actually still here for Byun. Pretty impressive. This medevac not going to be able to do anything there. Oh, God. That is a big incoming attack. Is he going to have enough here to hold on? Baneling's making it hard for him to actually turn and kite. Continues to attempt to do so with the Lurker's Burrow, though. Cannot chase him back. Finally utilizes that medevac that he sent to the bottom left. Unloads it before those chasing lings get underneath. Does have to back up, unfortunately, for him. So, Solar is just massing well. Oh, shit. That is a good move right there. That is excellent. And he gets the planetary, but hold on, that is a good clearing of those lurkers. In the meantime, that other group, like I was going to say, Solar was massing up really well. He took a great fight at the bottom, and then also utilizes lurkers up at the top to blow up the planetary. Now, a lot of SCVs still exist on the map, right? Like, he's still got 40. That's pretty solid. You can mine 2 bases cleanly with that. He's floating up another command center. You know, sometimes in the later game, those planetaries, they're rough because you can't save them from things like lurkers and banes. But yeah, he's going to get that back up and mining. Ling's harassing up in that top right. No, obviously with no planetary there, that is a little bit annoying to deal with. Still a good mass here from Solar. It's got a lot of army supply right now. Another good drop down at the bottom. You know, Solar's moving around mostly in like a death ball, right? Little groups here and there for harass, but the majority of his army is remaining together, which is making these little harassments from Byun actually do a fantastic job. Byun here, by the way, still doesn't have +3 attack on his bio. Kind of crazy. Very rare to see something like that. I think it's probably a mistake. Well, of course it's a mistake. A lot of Ling Bane coming in. GG is called. And that is going to be that.